So if you want to be using a Chronomancer, it's going to cost you $38 or £24, which is quite pricey for a single model character. Now he's going to be one of your HQ models in the Necron Codex, and of course he's one of your Cryptek models. And without any upgrades, his base cost is 75 points. Now he's moving 8 inches and does have that fly keyword. He's also got a 4+ invulnerable save, alongside all the standard stuff, living metal, command protocols, that sort of thing. But the main reason for taking a Chronomancer is for the Chronometron ability. So a Dynasty unit within 9 inches of your Chronomancer is going to get to reroll their charge roll, and they're also going to be getting a 5+ invulnerable save on top of that. So your Chronomancer is really good for units such as your Scorpion Destroyers, perhaps your Lich Guard with the War Scythes, Canoptic Scarabs, Canoptic Spiders, units that do need the invuln save but also could use that reroll to their charge roll. But even just the 5+ invulnerable save alone is going to be really handy for even Necron warriors. Okay, they're not going to use that reroll to their charge, but having a 5+ invulnerable save for a 20-man warrior blob could be really effective. So the Chronomancer's got a few different profile options for his weapons. The first is the Aeon Stave, which is both a shooting and a melee attack. Now I'm not really going to get into the melee side of it because you shouldn't really be getting any of your Crypteks into combat because it's just not worth it. But for the shooting side of things, it's 18 inch, strength 5, -2 AP and 1 damage. Now it is a blast weapon, and also invulnerable saves cannot be made against this weapon. I don't believe that includes the new invuln saves for the demons, because they've got the new demonic invuln saves. That is a completely different invuln save. But all other invuln saves in the 40k game, it's going to go straight through it. Now at -2 AP, it's not going to make that big of a difference, to be honest with you. If a unit's got a 3+ armor save, it only takes them to a 5+ armor save anyway, so it's virtually the same as having an invuln save, really. So I wouldn't rely on it too much. But against those infantry units that do have an invuln save, yeah, it could be quite handy, I suppose. Now the other option, which is the Entropic Lance, which again is a shooting attack and a melee attack. This weapon is actually really good at range. It's 18 inches again, it's assault 1 this time, but it's strength 8, -3 AP, and the damage is D3+3. So it's a solid anti-tank weapon in fact. If you get 1 wound through, you're going to average 5 damage to that opposing unit. This may be a situation where you pull out the stratagem Techno-Oracular Targeting, so you don't have to roll to wound, it's an automatic wound. All you got to do is make a hit roll, and it hits on a 3+ anyway. So that one could be valuable to be getting off some wounds off of those enemy units. Now unit synergy wise, you can bring a pair of Cryptothralls to apply a Lookout Sir Bubble on your Cryptek model. That's only 40 points, and they're not too bad, to be honest with you. Their pistols are strength 6, and they're also not too bad in melee either. Alternatively, if you wanted a different type of Lookout Sir, you can go into the Cryptek Arcana and purchase the Prismatic Obfuscation. Don't know if I've said that correctly, but this means he must be the closest model in order to be targeted at range. So it gives him a little bit of protection for only 15 points. Now other Arcana of note, you've got the Counter-Temporal Nanomines. In the shooting phase, you select an enemy unit within 18 inches. You're going to be halving their advance and charge rolls. That could be really useful on a lot of different factions in fact. If you've got monsters from say the Tyranid Codex coming up the board, you can literally half their advance, half their charge. Now all of a sudden, even a very simple 6-inch charge is now a 12-inch charge, isn't it? So it can be really handy just to keep those units back for an additional turn. Alternatively, you can use a Dimensional Sanctum to give him the Deep Strike ability for only 10 points. So he can be meeting a certain unit in a certain location. Now unfortunately he will be missing the command phase when he does that, because of course you do your deep strike in the movement phase. So just bear that one in mind before you go deep striking in with say a unit of flayed ones, because you're not going to be able to put that Chronometron ability on that flayed one unit until the next turn. As for the relics of note to put on the Chronomancer, Veil of Darkness of course, that's everyone's personal favourite, isn't it? And we've already kind of mentioned the units that you're going to use this with, the Scorpion Destroyers, the Lich Guard, possibly the Necron Warriors as well. But there is an alternative within the Codex to allow other units to have the reroll to the charge roll, and it comes from the Warlord trait section, which is the Implacable Conqueror Warlord trait. And you can be putting that on any of your characters. Okay, there's no 5+ invulnerable save attached to that Warlord trait, but if you purely just wanted it for the reroll to the charge roll, maybe you're better off just getting the Warlord trait instead. Then finally, before we get onto the star rating, I just wanted to mention the stratagem, which is the Resurrection Protocol stratagem for 1 command point. So if your Chronomancer does go down in a certain phase, at the end of that phase, you roll a d6. On a 4+, he literally stands back up with d3 wounds remaining. I've used that one numerous times, and it is really frustrating for your opponent when even your characters can literally just stand back up again. So as for my Planet 40k rating today, I'm going to be giving the Chronomancer 4 out of 5 stars.